Welcome to Frequency Matters, the RF and microwave update. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with my co-host Gary Lerude. In this episode, we're going to cover the September European Microwave Week issue. And the cover feature is very interesting by Amitabh Ghosh from Nokia Bell Labs. And he covers the 5G millimeter wave radio revolution, which is definitely upon us.
Yes.
And so he talks about how millimeter wave spectrum can be used for 5G and also very dense networks. And he covers some of the latest research and measurements that are going on around the world. He's definitely a renowned expert, so good article there. And in conjunction with 5G, we also have a perspective piece by Saragon. And they talk about the network challenges that will be seen with IoT. So as IoT deploys many devices, there's a lot of key factors that they're going to have to take into consideration. What do we have for technical features?
So all of our technical features this month are kind of high frequency, millimeter wave and above. We have a molded interconnect devices using the laser direct structuring that LPKF does.
Right.
An article on that about how that can work into millimeter wave frequencies. We have a review board approved article on designing waveguide windows for millimeter wave components. That's a joint paper from the University of Electronic Science and Technology and the Nanchang Institute of Technology in China. And then we have an app note from MPI, very interesting, on achieving metrology level measurements with a manual on-wafer probe at terahertz frequencies. So that gets really up there.
Yeah.
So what else do we have in the issue?
So for the products, we have an MVP, is National Instruments' second generation vector signal transceiver, and that has a full 1 gigahertz of real-time bandwidth. And I saw that at NI Week. It was very interesting. They're able to stitch multiple units together. So in an 8-slot chassis, they were able to fit 4 units, and they were able to achieve 3.5 gigahertz of real-time bandwidth, which is amazing.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, so look for more information on that in our July 12th Frequency Matters, as we
Right.
covered that topic thoroughly.
Right.
How about other products?
Well, other products, we have 3. Again, kind of going into the millimeter wave range. There's a joint venture, not an official one, but one where Farron Technology and Copper Mountain are working together to add millimeter wave extensions to the Copper Mountain 9 gigahertz vector network analyzer. So using the Farron Technology frequency extenders, covering the waveguide bands, you can go from 50 gigahertz to 110 gigahertz. So that's quite impressive. There's a product feature from Anritsu on their PowerMaster power analyzer. It's basically a frequency selectable USB power sensor, and it operates up to 70 gigahertz. So that's quite interesting. And then in the component area, Skyworks has released some new infrastructure products, circulators and isolators, that cover the infrastructure bands from 1.8 to 3.6 gigahertz. And these, they say, are the smallest circulators and isolators that are available in the industry.
Yeah, they have some unique material compositions that they're using to achieve that.
Right. They went to real high K material to get the size down. And then I do have one correction from last time. We talked a little bit about the Mercury Systems 2 to 18 gigahertz receiver. I said receiver first, and then I called it a transceiver. So it's really just a receiver.
It does both.
It just does one. So what's in the news this time?
So in the news, big news, I think it's probably one of the biggest news items of the year. Ericsson announced the availability of the first commercial 5G radio just leading up to CTIA. This radio will handle up to 64 antenna elements for massive MIMO, and it also handles multi-user MIMO. And it'll be deployed in 2017, so they can use this along with their 5G plugins that they announced in June to deploy a 5G network. And we had been talking about 5G a year ago, maybe happening in 2020, maybe 19 or 18 for special events. Now we're in 2017, and it'll be happening with commercially available radio technology.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and Ericsson also announced that they partnered with China Mobile to do the first 5G-enabled drone trials. So they were able to use an actual operator network running 5G, do the handoffs between cell sites with cell traffic running over it to replicate real-world conditions. So Ericsson's really active, as well as Nokia, in these areas.
Right. Talking about kind of markets and how they're accelerating, I've been impressed by what's going on in the autonomous driving world. And there was just an announcement that Volvo and Autoliv are forming a joint venture to develop autonomous driving software. And each of them will initially put in 100 employees. They're going to start this early next year, so they'll have like 200 employees. They say will grow to 600 within the medium term. And Volvo is going to use the technology in their own cars, but Autoliv is going to make it available to other auto manufacturers. So, obviously, sensors and things for automotive cruise control have been under development for decades, but it's just amazing to me how recently in the last year or so this whole autonomous driving is accelerating.
Yeah, usually automobile technology kind of goes very slowly because they have to design it in so far ahead of time, but they really seem to be speeding it up.
Right. And then, as you know, we have a special guest on this episode. Suja Ramnath joins us from Analog Devices. So why don't we watch a clip from that interview? Can you give us maybe an example or two of some applications where the radioverse transceivers might be applied?
Sure. I would say one of the early successes that the franchise experienced was with the AD9361. And this particular product has gained a lot of traction within the small cell application. Today it's shipping across various customers into multiple geographies. Beyond the comms market, this part has also gained a lot of traction within wireless video type of applications, specifically UAVs as an example. And beyond that, the product is applicable to military radios, 5G test beds, and other type of applications, including test equipment as an example, where you might want to transmit data wirelessly.
So on the one hand, by doing all this integration into a single transceiver, you make it probably fairly easy for somebody to apply it. But on the other hand, given all the integration, it's probably more difficult because not any single designer has the full span to know how to apply it. So what kind of application support do you provide for someone that wants to use this kind of functionality?
Right. Gary, I think you hit on one of the core elements of our transceiver franchise in terms of the delivery of the technology to our customer base. Through Radioverse, our customers are able to get, I think, a very wide range of application support, both in terms of the robust documentation, evaluation boards, software support, as well as an actual technical liaison that can effectively help them to design the product in. And they can connect to ADI through Engineer Zone, as an example, as a pathway into the organization to be able to tap into all these different elements of support that exist.
So you can see that full interview that Gary did a great job on our website, in Microwave Journal. And this issue also covers the European Microwave Week, which takes place October 3rd through the 7th in London. So usually the UK rotation had been through Manchester, but now that there's a proper venue in London, they'll be moving there, as they would say in London.
Right. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I haven't been there before. I mean, I've been to London, but not to that venue.
Right. And so this issue covers the special sessions, the conference, the exhibition, and our international editor, Richard Mumford, does a great job on reviewing the European microwave market. So that's a good piece to always check out each year.
Right.
And so Microwave Journal will be running the industry panel session at the Defense Forum again this year. And we have 4 participants: Keysight, Rohde & Schwarz, Qorvo, and Peregrine. So there's a good mix of semiconductor and measurement companies talking about complex urban communications and sensing technologies. So that'll be a good one to catch, and that's on Wednesday.
Yeah, we should see a lot of good papers in that one. And we can't leave the episode without talking about EDICon. We're within a couple weeks of the show. A lot of work has gone into that, so we encourage you to register if you haven't already. And also, we have a couple of special panels at the show, as Pat knows. Pat has organized a 5G panel, and I'm organizing a connected car panel. I'm talking about some of this autonomous driving as well,
Yeah.
and you're covering kind of the millimeter wave aspect of 5G, I think.
Yep, we'll be concentrating on millimeter wave spectrum deployments and technology challenges, and you'll have auto leave there at your connected car panel.
Definitely. So it'll be interesting. So we hope to see you at EDICon in just a couple weeks. And that wraps it up for this episode. We want to thank you for watching, and we want to thank our sponsor, Mini Circuits, for making the program possible. You can check out all their products at their website, minicircuits.com. Thanks for watching.